break it down for us. How was the game?
The running game improved way better than it was the first week. The passing to me kind of seemed like he seemed like he was Pryor was more on target, but it seemed like the receivers and him they're still not clicking all the way. You know what I mean? But
Yes,
running game wise, I mean McFadden had a field day. I think he had like 130 yards rushing.
129.
129.
He averaged 6.8.
Yeah. That's one of the things I said was the run game needed to be established. The one thing I wish I could have saw more of was touchdowns instead of field goals. But a win's a win. I'll take it any way I can. One thing I've noticed though, they showed a replay on the field goal Janikowski had missed, and they showed a close up of the holder. And he didn't have the laces all the way out. He still had he's not getting the ball turned the way he's supposed to. So that's that he needs him and Janikowski need to really work on that to ensure some because like I said, that week one we could be 2-0 right now if we would have made that one field goal.
Now, who's your long snapper? Because typically there's a lot of history between those three players, specifically a kicker, holder, long snapper, as well as a kicker, punter and long snapper as well.
You know what? I don't know his name off the top of my head, but I don't think he really changed. And not too much has changed from the long snapper. Like I said, the key thing is that it's the holder because Leckler's now in Houston.
Right.
So. But I mean, our defense was looking really good. They held them to 9 points. I was hoping that we could just hold them to that one field goal, but
yeah.
But once again, we got to the quarterback, and once again, we got some sacks. And that's it. All I see is improvement from last week to this week. Like I said, other than not moving the ball as well in the air, we move the ball a lot better on the ground. Next week is going to be a big challenge because we're going to go to the Mile High City and play Denver.
Yeah.
But as far as yesterday's game, like I said, we still got penalties, but we got a lot fewer penalties than we normally get. And the defense was putting pressure, was putting real good pressure on the quarterback and keeping the running backs in check. I mean, that's what the Raiders got to do. And Terrell Pryor, his accuracy looked a lot better this week than it did last week. It's just for some reason it just seemed like he wasn't connecting with his receivers. Darius Moore had one that was it was like a little behind him, but it was extremely catchable. He should have caught it, and he just didn't. For some reason, he just didn't hold on to the ball. But overall, I mean, yeah, a lot of people are going to say, okay, well, it's the Jaguars. They're probably, God knows if they'll even get a win. Who knows? But to me, like I said, we're really rebuilding, and to me, all I saw was us getting better from week 1 to week 2. I saw some, like I said, improvement in the running game. We'll see what happens next week when we play. Oh, I can't even see that we haven't played a legit team. I mean, the Colts were in the playoffs last year, and it's not like they're not a legit team. But yeah, there's a big difference between the Colts and the Broncos. There's a big difference between Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. But
yeah, no, you're right. It'll certainly be a compelling matchup next Monday. I think we'll let you off the hook next week so you can enjoy the game. So,
well,
but yeah,
it's gonna be hard to give you an analysis when it'll be in the middle of the game since they're playing Monday night.
Right. No, we'll be looking forward to to recapping a couple weeks after. But
he might actually want to come on and record instead of watching it because it might not be so.
I think we should record while you watch it so we get your reaction. Don't answer us. We just so it could be like good.
In the
good
middle of our
background
conversation.
noise. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the
Like-
laptop on in the background.
like
You can hear
comment.
me and my dad yelling at the TV the whole time.
We could comment on your commentary.
We're not even watching the game, but we know what's going on.
It'd be epic.
There we go.
Speaking of Jaguars, though, did you hear what the Jaguar fans over there in Jacksonville are doing?
I did. I heard they're already petitioning, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're buying billboards, something idiot fans like to do around here, and to try to get their way, to try to get Tim Tebow on the Jaguars.
I saw that. I started cracking up. I'm like, hey, I mean, why not? You know what I'm saying? At this point, why not? But I want to also say congratulations to your Bears, 2-0.
Yeah, we were talking about that. It was, I don't know if you got to see it, what games you were able to see,
Well, I got the
but
Sunday ticket.
oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. Well, the feed here, it was broken for for a good chunk of the game.
Oh, really?
And yeah, so that wasn't fun, but to say the least. But it was a very exciting game, and we're very happy with it. Yeah, there's a few things that need to be tightened up, but we're very content with where they are right now in the division rankings and overall as just Bears fans
I tell you, your defense looks real good. I think that you just got to watch Cutler, see what he does. I mean, Forte and Michael Bush. I know all about Michael Bush. He was a former Raider.
Yeah.
And what's Brandon Marshall, and what's your guys' tight end? He oh man,
Martellus
yeah,
Bennett.
I have him on my fantasy league, but
oh, you gotta love him then.
yeah, unfortunately, I had him on the bench yesterday.
Oh man, no, I'm gonna pro tip here from the homers, but Martellus Bennett has as many touchdowns in 2 games as the entire tight end core did all of last year. So. Yeah. Pro tip.
He'll be going back in. Yeah, don't worry about that. I don't know why I sat him. I sat him for some reason. I forgot who I had picked someone up, and he did. Whoever I had. Oh, I had gotten the Cleveland's tight end. He got me a good solid amount of points, but yeah. So what was I gonna say? I don't know. It was a good day of football yesterday.
No, it certainly was. And one of the surprises came from the AFC West, at least in my perspective, was that the San Diego Chargers got up for for the Eagles. Eagles coming off of a high-flying show last Monday night, just becoming the new Chip Kelly-style offense and highlighting what it can do against, a very bad team, specifically Washington. Yeah. But wow, I was surprised that San Diego was able to hang with them and end up winning the game.
Well, I don't take anything away from Phillip Rivers. He's a hell of a quarterback, and also, I mean, look at granted they let the Texans come back last week, but
yeah,
they let them come back to beat them. But I mean, the Texans is a good team, and they hung with them, so they're still going to be playing tough. They just need I think they need a better run game, because I don't know about what's his name, Michael, not Michael, crap, Matthew. I'm gonna go blank on his name now.
Ryan Matthews.
Anyway, Ryan Matthews. Honestly, I had the last name.
I was like struggling too. I'm like, what is his name?
If we were just talking and bullshitting around right now, I would have no problem remembering that. Now that we're recording, it's like, oh, what's the guy's name? But I think that he's all right, but they haven't really had a solid running back since LT was more in his prime, before he left. I mean, it's been kind of downhill from there. I mean, I'm not complaining. Let them do bad. They're in my division, but I tell you one thing. It was a pitiful showing on Thursday night with that Patriots Jets game.
I actually thought, I don't know why, I thought that was going to be a compelling matchup, but they just seem to be continuing in the tradition of last year when we were getting Thursday night games on a consistent basis throughout the year. But wow, they cannot get that matchup worth anything.
No. That was it. Well, it was just so sloppy between both like all the receivers on both sides. You know, the only solid receiver out there was Edelman for the Patriots, who I was smartly went and picked up and put in before that game because I was like, what other weapons does he have? Gronk is hurt. Amendola's hurt. His what's his name? Breen, the running back, he was hurt. You had to rely on Riley, who was fumbling like crazy last week. So
yeah, it was like the first time since like 2009 that Brady did not have a completion to a tight end.
Shit.
Wow. Which is just kind of crazy if you think about it. And you go to that. Well, that's why you only scored 13 points.
I think the bigger shocker to me was yesterday though at the Sunday night game with the Niners and the Seahawks. I expected the Seahawks to win, but not like that. I did not expect the Niners to suck that bad yesterday. As a Raider fan, I was happy to see him get their ass kicked that bad. In fact, I was sending pictures out to all the Niner fans that I knew of the Seahawks end zone and said, "Here's what the Seahawks end zone looks like, just in case you forgot."
Yeah, no, I hear you. I would say that getting back to Thursday Night Football, I think I would not be surprised if come next year, I would hope next year just to make things better and more palatable for fans, but get the Thursday night game from teams that are coming off of the bye week so that, going off of a bye week so that they do have that extra time to prepare. Maybe you get that better matchup because certainly the lack of practice time is really hurting the matchups and overall the watchability of these teams. I mean, if you're going to have every Thursday night game look like what we saw the Giants and the Cowboys do, oh gosh.
Well, and the thing is like, was it a couple of years ago? It was just like they had a couple Thursday night games towards the end of the season, and that wasn't that bad. But now they want to have Thursday night every week, and it's just, I don't know. I think it's, as much as I love football and as much as I want to see as much football as I can while it's here, I don't think the teams are getting enough time to do what they got to do, especially if someone gets hurt on Sunday and then they got to go right back to, playing on Thursday, But I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens. But as far as, like I said, the Raiders, I'm happy with this, of course, because they got to win. But they need what they need to work on is getting in the end zone, getting some touchdowns. But prior moving around, keeping things live, and his accuracy looked better. Like I said, we got to work with what we got. One thing that they were saying, and it's true, we have like 9 new starters on defense, but they're all vets. They're pros. They're not rookies. Right. So at least that's one thing we have going for them. And our defense is just, like I said, the defense looks way better than it did. We'll see what happens with next week when they got to play Denver, but I can't complain too much. I gotta just go with the flow of this season. Next year we won't have the salary cap problem with like all the players that we're still paying that are not even playing on our team. Yeah. We're still paying. Also, I can't talk. Seymour, Palmer, Kelly. Tommy Kelly, and there was one more.
Rich Gannon.
No, I wish he would come back. There's Greg Papa, who does the Raider games. He also does one of our local news station or radio show, and he said something that had me cracking up. He said, because he's been announcing the Raiders for like, I don't know, since 2000 or something like that, 99. And he said, calling the Raider games is a lot like a marriage. Calling, because he's the one that's famous for yelling "touchdown Raiders," and he says when you first get married, you get it all the time. So when he first started announcing, he got to yell it all the time. But as he did it, as the time goes on more longer and longer, he gets to say it less and less every week. And then he finishes with, I really miss Rich Gannon.